Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into the That Scuffed Up podcast for episode 33. As it was mentioned last week, and as you guys saw if you watched the podcast last week, no Justin Lee again for this podcast. You just got your boy yourself. Later on, we will be bringing in a special guest to interview him and talk about his wiffball career, his young but illustrious wiffball career so far. We will have to stay tuned for that to see who that is, although you can probably see in the title down below. But anyways, I digress. We are here after the Week 5 results, just me. I'm going to go over some of these games that we got going on here. To anyone who did spend time with the family or anyone else that to spend time for Thanksgiving, I wish you guys all a happy Thanksgiving. Hope you guys had a good time, and for those teams that were able to be out at Wiffleball, we appreciate you being out there 2 days before Thanksgiving. We know there were a good number of teams that were not out there this past Tuesday. But you know what, we got the games when we needed to, and those games will be made up during these next few weeks. So, we'll today we're just going to be going into those results, and then later on we got a special guest coming in later today. So I'm just gonna jump right into this. You know, I usually just jump right into these when I'm on my own. So. Like I said, a few less games today. Only 2 games in the 6:20 slot. We had a full slate of games in the 7:25 slot, but then we had 3 games in the later slot as well, and not many D1 games at all. You know, we had the OC Wiffleball of LA, and we had the Trash Pandas who were gone from Division 1. We did have the other 4 teams, so the other 4 teams did get some games against each other, a couple with doubleheaders. Both these teams actually here who are playing first had doubleheaders, but first they play each other, which is the Avocabros and Shepherd's Pie. The 4 and 5 seeds currently battling out in what could be an important game for the standings later on, or for making the playoffs. And Shepherd's Pie coming away here with a 6-2 victory. Very interesting scoreline. You know, very low scoreline. We always talk about with the Avocabros. They love having high scoring games. But the pitching of the Shepherd's Pie was able to limit the effectiveness of the Avocabros, and they were able to put up a few runs themselves. And Shepherd's Pie seemed to be doing better and better as the weeks go on. Evan White still has a very low ERA, a 3.60 ERA in 10 innings pitched. Anthony Agrusa, a 9.79 ERA in 19 innings pitched. And then Nicholas Tone does mix in there at times. You know, he has a little bit higher ERA with less innings pitched, but those 3 mixing up seems to be a good combination for the team. You know, they've been having some more success compared to this previous season, and so you know it's good to see teams that keep improving from year to year. And then hitting wise, they're not too bad either. Overall, as a team, they have a 250 average, but Anthony Agrusa leading the way here with a 429 average and a 564 on base percentage. And once they get Matt Hornich fully back, you know, who knows what this team can really look like, because we all know how dangerous a hitter Matt is. But Anthony Agrusa is off to a really nice hitting start. 18 hits, 8 of them home runs. You know, if it weren't for some of the other stats going on, teams going on, you know, this could be looking for award-winning season. But I'll get more into some of those other players in a bit. But for the Avocabros, you know, this one stings a little bit. It helps drop them down a spot. They have another game that they can make it up, so we'll see if they're able to do that. I'll get more into the Avocabros later on with their game. But I just kind of want to highlight the Shepherd's Pie getting that 6-2 victory and moving up in the standings, actually, which I'll get more into in just a second. Next D1 game we have to talk about, we have the LA Wolves of OC taking on Shepherd's Pie again. This time a 6-1 ball game, nearly the opposite of what the Shepherd's Pie did to the Avocabros, but LA Wolves of OC able to maintain their perfect record, move to 6-0 in Division 1 play, and then 7-0 overall. Given their win in Div 2 versus the Bad News Dingers, but pretty close game here. Steven was hitting the ball relatively well. Had a little bit of a struggle the previous week, but bounced back and gone on base a lot. But interesting one was seeing Jordan Dreschler. You know, he had a bit of an off night, a bit of an unlucky night where some stuff was getting robbed. But His average dropped all the way. He was down like 570 or 580 something. Dropped all the way down to 489. So could open things. 477 I should say, which actually puts him second on the team, with Steven now leading the way in average with a 489 average. LOSVC, we're missing a couple guys here. They had no Justin Lee, who is obviously he's not here as he is out in Thailand. And then there was no Dustin Staggs again either. That was a late scratch, but however, I was prepared. I did bring along one of our players from the championship season in the fall and also from the summer, in Dylan Menji. He came out to play. He did all right out there. I think he had a hit late on in the game, but a lot of the offense did come from Steven in this game. It was some unlucky stuff going on. Some weird plays going on for Jordan or Steven for the rest of the team, but we'll see a little short-handed, but still able to get the victory. And I think it's still a good sign for Shepherd's Pie. They kept this game relatively close. The first time these two teams played, it was a 10-0 victory for the LA Wolves of OC. Maybe you could put that down to. You could put that down to some guys being missing for the LA Wolves of OC this time, but I think Shepherd's Pie are a dangerous team that I personally would not want to see in the playoffs, especially in that wild card round. You never know what can happen with these wild card games. But while I feel confident that my team can beat any team, I think Shepherd's Pie is one of the two teams that I would not look forward to playing in the wild card round. But moving on to this final game in Division 1, we have the Beach City Bombers taking on the Avocabros. Avocabros looking to avenge their loss and really get the scoring going, which they did get the scoring going. They did score 8 runs, but they did allow Beach City Bombers to score 14 runs here, and a 14-8 loss here for the Avocabros. Beach City Bombers take the win. Like I said earlier, it was going to be the 4-5 matchup. This one's a 3-4 matchup coming into today. And Tyler Moore is doing some great stuff here for the Beach City Bombers. Hitting wise, I believe he's one of the top. He's either one of the top or leading the league in average. I think he's tied for second behind Blake Fitzgerald, who did not play this past week. But Tyler Moore so far with a 500 average, 581 on base percentage, 12 home runs on the year, which I believe leads Division 1. Which it does, which it will be 2 in front of Blake Fitzgerald, it looks like. And then pitching wise, Tyler's really stepped up in the absence of Zach as well. Tyler so far, 23 innings pitched, a 3.65 ERA, 43 strikeouts. He's having a better season than he did this previous season in the fall. You have a little bit of that World Series hangover, then all of a sudden. You lose in the wild card, and then you bounce back trying to make a case as to why you were the best team at one point. But he also had a very very good night. He played 3 games, and 2 of them being in the Purple League he was starting to see the ball really well, and against the Avocabros he kept that rolling. So they're gonna need Beach City Bombers are gonna need him to really carry the team a little more in order to have the success that they had their first season. We'll see if anything happens with certain people coming back. I've heard some rumors that Zach Moore may come back for the end of the season, although nothing has been confirmed yet. I just know he's in the stat sheet with no stats right now because he hasn't been there. So we'll see if he's there and how that can make this team a different team. Then going with the Avocabros, they do get 2 tough losses here, 2 relatively close games, but I believe they did not have Lucas Sardo this night, who. Lucas Sardo's off to a really hot start as well, with a 500 average and 622 on base percentage, maybe leading the league in on base percentage, which he is. He's just in front of Nicholas Tone, who I won't talk about anymore. I'm kidding, Nick. And then he's right in front of Blake Fitzgerald as well. 17 hits for Lucas Sardo so far, 4 home runs. A lot of singles. Looks like pretty much a single or home run player kind of season right now for Lucas Sardo, which I can relate to. So it seems to be kind of a pattern with some of these top guys. Even Tyler Moore, all but one of his hits are either singles or home runs. He only has 1 double. And a guy like me, I'm usually always either a single or a home run type player. We'll see how things keep going with this Avocabros team. Missing him was big. He's also been good on the mound, but they did have some good contributions here from Hayden Hager, pitching a little bit more on the mound, and then they also had Dan Lukac pitching more, up to 24 innings, 34 strikeouts as well. So we'll see how things keep continuing on throughout the rest of the season for the Avocados. But right now, standings-wise, Avocados are not in a great spot. They're kind of sitting at the bottom of the leaderboard right now with a 2-6 record. So if they want to make the playoffs here, they're going to need to make a push and be able to get some wins under their belt. So we'll see. We'll see if they're able to do it. Unfortunately, two teams will not make the playoffs here, so it's just a matter of which two are not going to be. It kind of looks like the top two are set in terms of making the playoffs, but that 3 and 4 spot could seem pretty open right now. So we'll see what happens as we continue on through the rest of the season for D1. Moving on to D2, only a couple games here for D2. There was no whoosh for tonight. Whoosh unavailable for the Thanksgiving weekend. So first game we had the Wiffle D's taking on the Bad News Dingers, and Wiffle D's getting the shutout versus Bad News Dingers here in an 8-0 victory here at 7:25 last Tuesday. A good victory here for Wiffle D's, getting that shutout here over the Bad News Dingers. Wiffle D's is still trying to prove that they're that team. That's gonna stand out and be that winner in replacement of the Seals who won it in the spring. It looks like it's primarily a battle right now between Whoosh and Wiffle D's. We'll see if that's a playoff matchup we see in the future. But for right now, in terms of overall record, Wiffle D's and Whoosh have the same number of games played, and Wiffle D's actually move ahead of Whoosh with a 5-2 record, whereas Whoosh is 4-3 overall. However, conference play, Whoosh has played one less game, sitting at a 4-1 record, while Wiffle D's is at a 5-1 record. I believe they've handed each other each their individual loss. So, for Wiffle D's, they're hitting the ball extremely well. They have the best team average in Division 2, and then pitching wise, they're doing pretty well as well. Alex Harris has the ERA has gone up like a tiny bit from the past, but he's still sitting at a 4.26 ERA. And then you also have Chris Garza in there, 6.16 ERA, 14 2/3 innings pitched. But if this team can keep this up, keep low scoring games, we'll see what they can do. For bad news things, they had a good game the previous week against the Ellisville C. Where they kept that a 9-0 score, but this one, it feels different. It feels different. It had a very close game versus the defending champions, and then you come out and have this game. I think Bad News Stingers are still very much in there. I think they can upset either one of these teams. But it's just gonna keep taking some work, and it does seem like they have improved some certain things as well. Whether it seems like the second pitcher has been a lot better than Shane McCoy, and Joe Reese is still doing his thing out there. Hitting wise, I think they can improve a little bit. Their team average is at a 282 right now. Just getting the consistency and getting the guys out there each week, I think, is going to be big for them for the future if they want to come out with this Division 2 title. Moving on to the next game, late game, we have Wiffle D's playing again, taking on the OC Juicers. What ended up being a very close game here, a 13-12 victory here for Wiffle D's. Very close game, closest game OC Juicers have had so far. The OC Juicers, like I said, I think they do have some talent. I don't think they're you can't mess around with them too much. You still gotta play the game and see how the results come out. You still have guys like Joel Gonzalez with a 4.29 average, 5.56 on base percentage on the season. Chad French is doing very well, 2.94 average, 4.55 on base percentage. Not a lot of home runs for this team. Joshua has 3 of the 4 home runs, but I mean they were able to put up the runs offensively here, just moving guys little by little. A little bit of a worrying sign if you are Wiffle D's, but I think they are still set to make a push for the playoffs here. A lot of great hitting numbers across the board, including Chris Garza already with a 600 batting average, a 707 on base percentage, with 18 hits in 30 at bats so far. So, adding along with 7 home runs, he could be a guy we see as the so far as the leading MVP candidate for Division Two. Who knows? It kind of depends how this season finishes up for the teams where the seeding is, because if they're able to get that one seed over Whoosh, that could play a big factor in the MVP votes. So who knows what may happen, but it's good to see the OC Juicers. They're right there in it. I wouldn't be surprised if they come out with a couple wins over these last few weeks and upset some of these teams. Moving on to the Purple League, had a lot of Purple League games going on. I believe we had all 5 teams for the Purple League come out here, which is good. Nobody too bad for to miss out on the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. So, first game, you have the Pancake Batters taking on Swingers and Dingers. With the Swingers and Dingers taking a 9-6 victory here over the Pancake Batters, handing Pancake Batters their second loss of the season. Very interesting game. Swingers and Dingers able to put some runs up and keep the scoring low. For Swingers and Dingers, they seem to be hitting the ball pretty well. Have a 348 team average overall. With Alex Harris and Chris Garza really leading the way here. Both of them with over a 500 batting average and over a 600 on base percentage. And pitching wise, it could be a little difficult in this as well. But actually, in the innings pitched, a lot of them have some pretty low ERAs at this point. So, and it seems like kind of the star pitcher has been Rebecca Leeds as well. The primary female pitcher on their team, it appears. So we'll see how things keep shaking out for both of these teams. Next up, you have the Glizzy Gladiators and the Beach City Dingers. It says 7-7 on here, which is exactly how it finished. This game actually went to 7 innings. Neither team could pull off the victory in the end, but big story here. A lot of home runs here by the Beach City Bombers. A lot of solo home runs. I think Tyler Moore had 3 here, and I believe Will Control added 1 or 2 more as well. Glizzy Gladiators they were able to come back. I think they were down 7-1 at one point. And then the 5th inning, they scored 6 runs to tie it up. Had bases loaded, couldn't get that go ahead run in. This game ends up being a tie. A very interesting result. We see with D1, D2, we usually don't finish with ties. But for this situation, Purple League is a little more okay. I believe the previous season, all 4 of the teams in the fall season finished with a tie on the record, or maybe 2 even for 1 or 2 of those teams. So that's the situation with that one. Just couldn't decide on that one in the time regulation. We got Pancake Batters playing again, and Beach City Dingers playing again. Beach City Dingers taking a 15-9 victory here over the Pancake Batters. Pancake Batters do fall a couple spots here. Start getting into today 3-3. They leave today. They came today 3-1. They leave today 3-3. Well, unfortunate for them, given their good start to the season. But Beach City Dingers getting hot at the right time. Tyler Moore trying to get his second title. Is trying to be the first person to win titles over multiple divisions. Given the fact we haven't had divisions around for very long, and weird enough, nobody played in 2 World Series in this fall season. So things kind of worked out there timing wise at least. So we'll see how these teams keep progressing throughout the season. And then finally, Glizzy Gladiators playing again versus We Got Spice. A 14-11 game here. Glizzy Gladiators do take the victory over We Got Spice. So We Got Spice now sits at 1-5. Glizzy Gladiators still sitting at the top here with a 5-1-1 record. The defending champions looking good so far. We'll see how long they're able to maintain that. They did have a little bit of a struggle versus the Beach City Dingers. So we'll see what's going to happen. We Got Spice. I know they have some talent. It's just going to be it's just getting around. But at the end of the day, this is the Purple League. It's just a fun way to be able to hang out there, and that's what we enjoy seeing. So that'll wrap up all the games here for Tuesday from this past week. Now, a lot fewer games. Was it 3 or 4 fewer games than there would be normally? Just due to some teams missing, and don't want to overcrowd some people's schedules and things like that. So, you can see there was standings here on the website. Not too much has changed so far in the standings. LOC, Trash Pandas, Beach City Bombers still the top three for Division One, and a little bit of switch up. Avocados fall from 4 to 6, and then Shepherd's Pies in fourth. OC Wiffleball are in fifth, and Avocados are in sixth as of this current moment. So we'll see. We'll see how things are affected there when these teams come back. Teams like OC Wiffleball and Trash Pandas did miss the previous week, so we'll see what happens there. Division 2, you have Wiffle D's and sitting in first place right now, followed by Whoosh, Bad News Stingers, and OC Juicers. The only mix-up here was Wiffle D's taking that top spot right now over Whoosh. Whoosh do have a game in hand in the conference, so we'll see what happens with this. Whether they're able to get that win back, or maybe Wiffle D's will be able to hold on for that Division 2 leaderboard top leaderboard spot. Who knows? And for the Purple League, not too much has changed here. Beach City Dingers have shot up a little bit, but you have Glizzy Gladiators in first, Beach City Dingers in second, Pancake Batters in third, Swingers and Dingers in fourth, and we got Spice in fifth. There's only a few weeks left of this season, so it's gonna be interesting to see how things shake out, what teams are gonna come through and make some noise out here. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. If you also haven't seen on the website, there's an explanation of the tiebreaker rules, which I should explain to people and explain to teams, to all these teams, which teams make it into the playoffs and things like that. So for the tiebreaker rules, the first tiebreaker is the conference record. That's the one that you see when you look at the standings. It's the one under the conference, and when you first look right next to your name, there are two records there. So the overall record is actually your second. Is your second tiebreaker, which this relates to Division 1, Division 2. This does not pertain to the Purple League, but like for example, you can see the LOC conference record of 6-0, and their overall record is 7-0 because of that D1 D2 interplay. And then there are other tiebreakers such as head-to-head versus the team you're tied with, win percentage versus the teams above you in the standings, run differential, and then if it's absolutely necessary, we will go to a coin toss if needed. But we haven't needed that yet. For D1, the top 4 teams do make it into the playoffs. So as I mentioned earlier, 2 of these teams will not be making it in D1. D2, everybody will make the playoffs. You have that 1-4 and 2-3 matchup going on, so it'll be interesting to see who plays who. And then for the Purple League, you have the top 3 teams making it into the playoffs. So 2 teams here will not be making it into the playoffs. It looks like the 1 seed will have an automatic bye to the World Series, and then the 2 and 3 seed will battle it out to see who makes it to the World Series against the 1 seed. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. The schedule has been updated a little bit. Make sure to stay in tune with that. All-Star Game and Home Run Derby taking place a couple Saturdays from now on Saturday, December 9th at 10 a.m. at Balboa Peninsula Beach, Balboa Peninsula, where we've had it before. Very fun day. And then playoffs. Make sure it's noted. The first playoff date, if your team plays that day, will be this Thursday, December 14th, starting at 5:30. I believe that will still be in the stadium. I haven't heard that it's going to be on one of the side fields, but I believe everything will be in the stadium. And then the World Series will be taking place on Friday, December 15th for all the different divisions. So, a lot of these teams are going to be making it to the playoffs. So if your team does, make sure everyone understands the schedule, and they have a good idea. Make sure hopefully you'll have all your guys there for your playoff and World Series run potentially. Also on the website, relatively new is the leaderboards. The winter leaderboards have been put up on the website for the first time. You can check out a lot of the different leaders in different categories. You can kind of get some MVP guesses yourself. You can keep track of a lot of different weighted stats. How many times a certain person has gotten out so far in the year, stuff like that. And then you also have some team stuff on the bottom, which we did have this previous season, but the fall season, but it has now been put up here for the first time. So that's good to see in general. So make sure you guys check that out if you're interested. If you're interested in seeing some of the overall team stats and some individual player stats, how to see how your stats on the stat sheet match up against the other people. Instead of trying to do it yourself, you have someone doing it for you. So that's the main stuff for week 5. Incoming now, I had the opportunity to talk with and interview a little bit of James Lee, co-captain of the OC Wiffles of LA in Division 1. Rookie of the Year for Division 1 this fall, and was in the running for MVP and Cy Young and stuff like that. But they come away with that Rookie of the Year award. And I think you guys will be interested to know more about him. Youngest player in the league and things like that. I think you guys will be extremely interested to kind of see his story and how he knows so many different pitches and how he's so good at his pitching. So without further ado, let's kick it over. All right, now that we're done with our Week 5 results here, I got a special guest along here with me, a very talented and renowned wiffle player, not just locally but also nationally as well, as we'll talk more about later. Also co-captain of the OC Wiffles of LA. With me is the young phenom himself, Mr. James Lee. James, how are you doing today?
I'm great, man. I'm great. Just got off doing some wiffle ball. Yeah, I feel good.
Nice. We'll talk more about your stuff like kind of recognition nationally, but just quick question for you. Being the youngest guy out here for OC Wiffleball, how does it feel? Because you usually have some more guys who are like closer to your age, but now you have sometimes where you're playing against some grown adults, some guys double, triple your age. How does that compare overall?
I don't know. I don't really pay attention to that, honestly. It's fun to hang out with them, especially to hang out with, like, I don't know, David and Evan. Evan Kuros. Yeah, they're fun to hang out with. Yeah, just everyone in the league is actually really nice. So I'd say that I don't really pay attention to the age. It's just fun.
Gotcha. Yeah, I just wanted to get that one in real quick. You obviously just joined OC Wiffleball this past fall season. You're Rookie of the Year. You're in contention for a lot of other awards, but I think Rookie of the Year was the one you were clearly top and favored for. But I want to get some people some background, because they don't know a lot of people. They see you out there and they see this young kid who throws a lot of extremely gross pitches. But they don't know a lot of people don't know a lot of the story about you, just because they're not as familiar with the wiffball game outside of California and things like that. So you are, if I'm not mistaken, you're still are you still 15 right now, James? Or
I just turned 16
gotcha.
in September, so yeah.
Gotcha. 16. Then you're still a high school, sophomore or junior in high school, I think.
I'm a sophomore. Yeah.
Gotcha. Easily the youngest player in the league. I think it's the first time we've had a person under the age of 18 in OC Wiffleball as well. But
Joaquin.
Yeah, true. Which that were. I won't speak too much on that. It's a thing we tried and unfortunately did not work out or have worked out for the fall season. But with you being so young, how did you first get into just picking up a wiffle ball and throwing it around?
I don't remember it that much. It was kind of sporadic. I watched a couple wiffle ball videos. They would pop up in my feed on YouTube. I think the first time that I was really interested in wiffle ball was like 2019, around the end. 2019, I started watching MOW videos, and I think one of the first videos I watched was like near the end of the season of 2019, and I watched like the World Series, and that didn't really have any meaning to me, of course, because I didn't know how to throw a wiffle ball. 2019 was iconic for MOW because the Predators won, and they hadn't won in like 7 years, so that and I didn't even know that, so that didn't mean much to me. But I think as time went on and as COVID hit, I definitely started getting more interested in wiffle because I was at home watching a lot more YouTube, and I just kind of started throwing wiffle balls around like August of 2021, and I wasn't very good at all, mainly because I wasn't good. I don't think anyone starts good because I for sure did not have very good mechanics at all. I had a super like long arm path. Like at I don't think it hurt at that time, but it did start. My arm did start to hurt at the time just because I had really bad mechanics, and I in that because of that I sucked for a while. Honestly, I sucked for a year, but I started, but as like baseball started coming back, starting to get into shape again, and going to being able to go to like private coaches changed my mechanics. I have I have a much cleaner arm path, using a lot more of my body, and I can throw harder and not have as much strain on my arm, and I'm able to get the movement I want now. So by 2022, I was definitely hitting, not hitting. I was definitely pitching better, and then I figured out I figured out how to throw a screwball, figured out how to throw a super curve, and that took at least 3 months, and then I've kind of been right there. I haven't really changed that much. My arsenal, you know, um, my arsenal hasn't really changed that much, and I've been throwing more strikes, but yeah, I guess that's my history. It's just like a lot of growth and a lot of like just a lot of growth and a lot of just like time put into wiffle ball has gotten me to where I am.
Awesome. I mean, that's cool to see. I mean, cool to see. Guys around here being thrown since 2019. I was the guy who kind of messed around with the wiffle ball since around 2018, just on my own until I found OC Wiffleball, and then continued to expand upon that. But you said you're also a baseball player. Are you still playing baseball right now, or is it in high
Yeah,
school or somewhere else?
yeah, I'm playing baseball at high school at Newport Harbor, so that's pretty cool. I think I should be on JV this year, so yeah, the teams are kind of mixed up right now.
Yeah, the fall season things are gonna be figured out eventually. You can get more set as we get towards the spring and stuff for baseball. But that's awesome. That's awesome to hear. I mean, I'm sure a lot of the people have seen a lot of the videos of you online, and or if you haven't, I'll in the description. I'll leave a link to the James's Instagram, where you can find some some really good stuff. Being that's kind of the way I found that's kind of the way I found out about you at first. I think it was about October of 2021 or something, or 2022 or something like that. For those people who don't know, there's a company out there called Wiffball Strike Zone Company that makes custom zones called Homestand. And all of a sudden, I saw James Lee pop up into my feed. He was at the park with it looked like his brother and some friends. Through that super curve you talked about, which has been displayed in this league a few times as well, which you've gotten to learn over here, which is nice to see. I saw one of those, and I was in awe. I was kind of like I was trying to figure out who this was, and all of a sudden, it left a link to your username. I figured out that you live in the Newport area. So that was pretty cool to see. It was someone local, someone else playing in California. Then once I followed you at that point, and saw you were going out to the Winter Classic for SoCal Wiffle, and that I was like get to see a guy who's at that point I thought you had been playing. I knew you were young, but I thought you'd been playing for a while. But so it's interesting to hear that story about you taking a break and stuff, but. It's very very cool to see, and it was very cool to meet you as well. You just kind of randomly we're warming up before the tournament, and all of a sudden James comes over to our field. And so yeah, can I warm with you guys? And I'm like, yeah. Let me try to get some at bats off of James real quick. So that was pretty cool for me overall to be able to meet you, and then obviously we've been able to talk more and be around each other more. So that was pretty cool in general. But our first time really kind of talking more and getting more involved with each other was the SoCal Wiffleball tryout dates.
Yeah, the
Uh,
combine.
yeah,
I remember
the
that.
combine. We were put on opposite teams. We were kind of seen as
Yeah.
two of the better players, and you know how at that point how much experience had you had with with the league, like with a league type situation, or was it more in the past? Was it more just like pickup type play with brothers or families or stuff like that?
It was pickup play, like totally pickup play. I've not the first time I had gone against real competition was at that like Winter Classic. I'd gone against like Ben Wemple, like Sam Wemple, um, and then I don't know. Past that, I don't really remember because we lost that game like 1-0 because I walked in a run. But um, yeah, that was really the first time I'd gone against competition, and I learned from that, and I feel like I did well at the combine. So yeah, that was definitely a good day for me at the combine. Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of that combine, kind of how you got there and stuff. How did you first get in contact with some of these SoCal guys to have them be able to want them to invite you out to that combine?
Oh, oh, that's I honestly. Oh, yeah, I remember. So I saw the video. I saw the video on YouTube. I saw a video of the Dolphins playing, which is funny because now I'm on the Dolphins. But I saw the Dolphins versus Penguins, like or something, and then I looked at their Instagram page and I was like, oh, this is actually pretty cool. And one of the first posts I saw was Dustin. Oh, he threw a perfect game, and I was like, oh, okay, this guy's looks like he's pretty good. And I watched a lot of videos, and then I was like, okay, I want to be in this league. I'm gonna follow everyone that I know is in that league. So I followed everyone, and then the first person to talk to me was Vinny Casella, and he was like, "Yo, your stuff is nasty, you know." We had a pretty cool conversation, and he was like, we might pick you number one in the draft. Like we might have just found our draft pick here, and I was like, yeah, sure. I don't know who. I don't know if other people are good. I haven't really played against any other competition. It's a kind of a risk, but that's cool, man. And the next thing I did after that was I actually played against Dustin and Ethan Johnson in like kind of a pickup game. And Dean and Vinny showed up. It was pretty fun because Dustin was actually experimenting with clean balls that day,
Mm.
which is funny because later he would join OC Wiffleball.
Yep.
But yeah, we were just experimenting. He of course beat us because yeah, him and EJ are pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the first experience I got playing against like Dustin and EJ, like against like them, and honestly just against good players. But yeah, and then after that, I didn't really do anything for 3 months regarding SoCal, and then I went to the Wiffle Classic with the Dolphins, and then I went to the Combine, and then I got drafted. So
Yeah, nice. Yeah, and you did have a very nice combine as well. You pitched extremely well, and I'm sure some of the people can see in the videos and stuff that
yeah,
or some of your stuff online how that super curve seemed to be on today, just hitting the top of the zone nearly every time, and just confusing everybody, whether it be the
yeah,
newcomers like me or the returners in that league. And there's one video
yeah,
posted, actually. I'll try to show it in the podcast right now. You posted you're throwing a screwing riser on me. Just
yeah.
first pitch I see out there, it's like, okay, what am I supposed to do here? Obviously, you had a great day at that combine, throwing some disgusting pitches. At the time, you talked about Vinny and the Dolphins had the number 3 pick at the time, but they make a big trade with my current captain right now, Walker Randolph,
Yeah.
to end up getting that number 1 overall pick. What was that feeling for you getting the word that you're going to be the number 1 overall pick in the draft?
Um. Well, I at first I didn't think I was gonna be number one because like I saw other people play, and I okay. So story is I saw Cannon Rabbit and PJ Gordon go out there, and I thought they were in the combine. I didn't think they were captains, and they were good. So I thought, oh, I'm probably not going to be number one. I might be like number two or number three because, I pitched pretty well. But as, as soon as well, actually I talked to Walker. We had a very interesting conversation, to say the least. I'm going to keep that confidential. But anyways, that didn't work out, and and oh, I'm going to crack up. Uh, so Walker like could talk to Vinny on Snapchat. I have a photo. It might be deleted now, but he demanded cash considerations and our next year's pick for the number one pick. And and I and like Vinny and I were on a call and we wrote together and we just started laughing after we saw that. That was so funny. And we took it. It was like what, $40. It
Something
wasn't
like
even
that.
that much, but it was it was so funny. It was so funny that we got the number one pick, and at that point I was feeling pretty good because I knew I was going to be number one pick. So um, yeah, I didn't really think of it that much at first, but then when that happened, it was pretty funny, but also it felt pretty cool to be the number one draft pick. Yeah.
Yeah, and you kind of already had the expectation from Vinny. If they were able to get that pick, you're gonna be that guy anyways. They're pretty similar in age to you as well. So I think that was a great match in general. And obviously, you talked about Walker a little bit. Walker ended up drafting me, which worked out pretty well, I think, for both teams in the end. But for your SoCal season, you did have. So far, we're at the All Star break for this SoCal Wiffle. You've had a really good start so far. Hitting wise, you've gotten on base a ton, I should say. Not necessarily have the
Yeah.
hits behind it, but the pitching has been extremely good for you. As we get onto these last few regular season series and the playoffs, what are your expectations for you and the Dolphins in general?
I think the expectation is that we need to improve our hitting. There's, I think Vinny's been doing a great job. I mean, against the Phoenix, Cannon is a very hard pitcher to try and hit off of, and Vinny was smoking the ball off of him. So, yeah, other than Vinny, we just need to improve the hitting. Unfortunately, I wasn't there against the Phoenix, so but I'm not I'm not completely sure that would have changed the outcome of what happened in the series, just because they were playing pretty well. Um, but I think the expectation is I need to throw strikes, not mess around as much, because against the Cobras I gave up a run because I was messing around and Dean was messing around. That was
They all
so
were.
stupid. Yeah, but I think overall we can take it a bit more seriously because we haven't taken it as seriously. We don't. We I like the fun, but and we've it's like we're having a bit too much fun. We want to
Yeah.
win. So
Gotcha.
yeah,
Well, good luck. Good luck to you and the Dolphins for the rest of the SoCal season. We did miss you in your last series. We missed you at the All Star game as well, which are both online as of recording. Hopefully we will see more good things from you and the Dolphins coming in the future. But I want to switch it over to OC Wiffball now. As the fall season was getting ready to start, we were about a month away and all of a sudden you reached out to me and you said you wanted to join OC Wiffleball. What kind of made you want to join OC Wiffleball in the first place?
Um, yeah, I hadn't at that point. I hadn't been playing a lot of. I hadn't been playing much SoCal wiffle ball games. I hadn't been practicing that much, and I want to do something for wiffle ball. Uh, so I saw what you were doing, and I know you had mentioned it to me. I've seen your players before. They were good, and I thought it would. I and my thought process was, oh, this is just going to be for fun. Which it is a lot for fun, and it's
Yeah.
also going to be like a learning curve for me because using like using mostly unscuffed balls, like they're mostly unscuffed. I will say they're a little bit scuffed, but I mean I don't think that really changes the performance of the ball as much. But um, yeah, it I thought it would be a nice learning curve for me, and I obviously I feel like throughout my videos I've shown that I've really progressed with my pitches for OC Wiffleball. But yeah, I just to do something I reached out to you and asked if I could play, and you said that there would probably be two teams, and then I was like, oh, that sounds good. I don't know which team I'm going to be on, but yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You know, we love having you in here. You know, as we mentioned before on the podcast, you were the rookie of the year, quite convincingly, and you were high up there in the voting for the Cy Young, for the some hitting awards, and also for the MVP. In my opinion, I would have had you in second or third place for the MVP voting. Which I have my MVP award over there on with the jersey actually, but I think I think you're in a very good spot for this winter season, anyways. But yeah, with all that, you know, I kind of decided right after our spring season, we had just won the World Series in the spring season, and the summer season came around, and we ended up having eight players or something like that. I was like, okay, this is too many. I just need to split this up into two teams, and then once I had guys like you and Dustin, and I had some other people reach out to me, and then I got a couple free agents, which you mentioned before, in David and Evan Kuros. I decided it was kind of the best direction to split it up into two teams and have people give some more people some opportunities to be able to hit and pitch more. You know, like a guy like Ethan Lee, he wanted to pitch more, which he wasn't really pitching at all because my team did have Jordan and me on it, and Justin would mix in every once in a while. And actually, I don't know if you know, you probably remember, maybe not remember this, but you were actually very close to being on my team in the fall
Yeah.
season. Had some guys not like had a couple other people not reached out about interest. I would have had you on my team, so I can only imagine what that team would have looked like. But
Yeah.
you know, I know I know the talent that you have, and I didn't want to hold that back too much, especially when we had guys like me and Jordan. I want to make sure that you got an opportunity to shine and things like that, and you're obviously shining on the OC Wolves of LA, now you're a co-captain of. But that fall season, you know, you did have a very good year, but the wins, there were a lot of games that were just didn't go your guys' way. What were your thoughts for your team and for yourself, and then for your team on that fall season, your guys' first season?
I felt like I did a good job at the start, especially with my pitching, because I I don't know, I was new and I had that drop ball working. Right now it's a screwball. I don't know what I've done, but I had a nice drop ball going, and that seemed to be very hard to hit off of. And and for the first half of the season, I pitched really well actually, considering that I had no experience for Scuff. And then the second half of this season, my pitching just started to completely fall apart. It felt like my drop ball I just kept spiking it. I wasn't throwing a lot of strikes, and until like the very end of the season, I started to figure out throwing strikes. But at that point, people were hitting off of me, like I don't know, Joey Ponder and True Hendrickson were like so annoying as a bitch too,
I mean,
because
those are two
they
of the
just
top hitters in the league. So.
yeah.
And like you said, it's kind of that learning curve as well. Playing a completely different style that you had never played before. I think you finished in that season. You still finished second in batting average, second in on base percentage. I think you were just barely behind me in on base percentage. I think it was like 3 points or something like that. But you guys did have a lot of bad luck, whether it be with people being there and not being there, or just with certain games. I think at one point you guys were. I think you guys were at one point were 0-8 with a minus 22 run differential, which is just
go for it. Was crazy. The Avocados had like a negative 50 run differential when we're winning games. It was crazy.
You just lose some certain games by like 1-2 runs and stuff like that. And I know you guys had some walk-offs on you as well, but you guys did get some wins at the end, and so far it's been a little better for you guys so far.
Mm-hmm.
How do you see you and the team doing for the rest of the season? I know you guys are in 5th place right now, as I mentioned earlier in the podcast in my part, but I have been saying it from the start that I think you guys are a very dangerous team.
Yeah, I think we're more playing like as a team right now. Having like Ethan Raffman. Having Ethan Raffman and like Ethan Lee show up and like start hitting in clutch situations. Even like without me there, like I think I was late to the game against Shepherd's Pie on week 4, and they scored 5 runs for like 4 runs, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. This few was good. I mean, to have some run support. So I see a lot of good things happening in the future. I just think that the secondary pitching just needs to throw more strikes. Like last year, I think Ethan Lee at the end was throwing a lot of strikes, which was nice. And so far he's struggled a little bit, but I think it'll get better throughout the season. And David Quiros is he's throwing strikes, but I think he's just getting unlucky with like certain batters, and like just like sometimes it's not even hit that hard, and it's like a triple. So I think he's getting like not insanely unlucky, but like kind of unlucky. So I see good things happening with the team just because we're playing together more cohesively, and we're doing you're getting used to these rules and getting used to all the other players and the teams, and I think it will be better.
Yeah, and we'll see what kind of stuff happens for the for the spring season. There may be some potential new additions as well. Maybe someone for that second pitcher. I have a couple ideas in mind that I'm trying to. I am currently trying to work on. I'm trying to hear from some stuff. We could see. Joaquin has reached out to me. He might potentially be interested in coming for the spring season. His schedule commitments have stopped him in the past, or possibly someone else in the league. Who knows what may happen? But I think the OC Wiffleball LA team is growing. I'm trying to make sure that team is going strong as well. So we'll see what happens. I think you guys do have a good future ahead of you for the rest of the season. We've only got 3 weeks left, so it's kind of that time to start pushing and start looking to get some more of those wins to be able to put on the tally board. As I mentioned earlier, you guys are currently 5th in the standings. But you play a few more games, and I think you guys can get right into that 3-4 spot, which looks like top four is what's going to make it into the playoffs right now. You guys are just you guys are pretty close right behind Shepherd's Pie right now for that fourth spot, and even Beach City Bombers. You guys are like a game and a half behind. So and I know you guys play them this week as well. So we'll see what happens with that. I think there are good things to come from the OC Wiffles in general. I think they'll be a very dangerous team when it comes to the playoffs in general. But this previous season, as I mentioned, you did win Rookie of the Year. You were in the contention for a lot of awards. What was your kind of reaction to all that? Did you expect to win an award? Did you think you should have won a bigger award, or what was your kind of reaction to winning that Rookie of the Year award? And if I'm not mistaken, it was a different award. It was like
I have it.
Different award. I
have a bottle opener.
I
have a bottle opener.
Okay.
Yeah, I found it. I told you I might have lost it, but I found it. It was in my backpack.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a bottle opener. So that's pretty cool. So about the awards, yeah, I expected to win some kind of award just because I had picked up my hitting in the second half of this season. Like I don't know, I was going crazy by then,
yeah.
but the one thing holding me back was definitely my pitching at the end. But I was looking. I didn't think I would win MVP just because you had that incredibly high average, and the pitching numbers were there. So, I didn't expect to win MVP, but I definitely expected to win Rookie of the Year because there weren't many rookies. There just weren't many rookies. I think I had that one.
Yeah.
So
I mean, right now you're off to a very good start for that MVP season. Right now you have a 3.79 ERA. As of this point, you've allowed the third fewest runs in the league as a pitcher as well. You're just trailing me and Jordan right now, which Jordan's off to a crazy start. He's only allowed 2 runs in 19 innings, but you're right there. You're right there in a lot of stuff. I think you're one of the top average guys as well, if I'm not mistaken.
419 average. Yeah,
419 average. You're one of the top right now. I think you got a great shot to be able to get a different another award, because obviously you can't win Rookie of the Year again. So
yeah,
that's great to see. I wish you guys luck, although not too much luck as we do play each other this week. So.
You scored 7 runs against me, and then like 5 of your 8 earned runs are like because I hit a grand slam in a solo homer off of you. So
that's actually something I want to talk to you about. As you mentioned, I did win MVP. I won back-to-back MVPs, and in the two times I've played you, you've averaged hitting 2 home runs a game against me. Is it just something you're seeing really well, or am I just easy to hit, or what's the deal? I need to know.
I'm just really focused against you guys because I know you guys are like the one team to beat, and I'm just I guess I'm just locked in. I've looked at the footage. I know what I'm doing right. I definitely know what pitches I definitely hit well against you, Dustin, and Jordan. Although, dang, that Jordan's riser is crazy, dude. That's the one pitch I struggle against a little bit, is that pitch. But don't use him against me. No, don't do it. But yeah, I don't know. I just look at footage. I just do my research and try to stay locked in against you guys as much as possible. So,
we wish you guys luck. I see that as a pretty hard game that we have coming up against you guys. I think you're one of the tougher teams that we play. Just because a lot of us know each other so well and things like that. Hopefully hopefully both teams will be at full roster, and we'll see what happens. Because our first time it was you guys jumped out to an early 5-0 lead, and then Jordan Dressler had a key at a green. I think it was either 3-run or 4 grand slam.
Grand Slam, I think.
To kind of start breaking things open, and then Justin Lee just owned his brother Ethan Lee on the mound, which Justin does say it every time. You guys are not related. Which
Nope.
People actually do ask that question, so that is something that gets brought up, especially
Yeah.
when they ask Justin and Ethan about it. So
Yeah, it's a disclaimer. We are not related. If you think that we are related, that is very sad.
They probably wish they were related so they can figure out some of your pitches, but I want to go away from the OC Wiffleball stuff a little bit. I want to talk more about kind of the national scene for you, because you're a very well known pitcher and player through your social media, through the videos you post, and you've been seen a lot by a lot of guys. Actually, one of the people that covers a lot of the fast pitch stuff. The Instagram page called WCFT, or also known as
Yes.
Came for This.
I talked to him. Yeah.
He posted it. He made an Instagram post for some of the future stars of wiffle based off of this year, and you were in there at number 8.
7 or 8 or something. Yeah.
Yeah, which is what was your reaction to seeing that, especially with that big list of names, a lot of them who were at the World Championships for the U17 tournament.
Yeah, that was pretty cool to see, that at least I've been recognized, because not a lot of people have actually seen me, because we live in California. Like, you've been to York, so people have seen you before, or like Justin, but like no one has seen me before. I don't think I've only traveled to New York just because, like, my brother had a Cooperstown tournament, but other than that, I haven't really traveled for wiffle ball or anything, and no one has seen me. So I guess that it's pretty cool that that I got at least recognized, and to be put up with all those names there. Like, I know some of my friends that I've talked to, like Connor Smith, Kale Foreman, if they're on there. I've talked to them before. I'm hoping that I get to play with them at least, because I'm very interested to know who they are and what they do. So that was pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, when you talk about Kel Foreman and Connor Smith and stuff, just tell the people, so a lot of them probably don't know, what the team is you're with for fast pitch and stuff like that.
Yeah, so they're called On the Rise, and it's basically a team with people that have a bright future, I guess. Just are very good, and we're trying to get scouted, be on some good teams. So it was created by Kale Foreman, and he asked me to be on it, and then he signed me. But I couldn't make it to tournaments just because travel expenses are crazy. We do not have enough money for that. I don't have enough money for that, although I'm working, and hopefully I can actually pay for that, maybe just once. But it's just a team that we just want to have fun. We want to throw nasty pitches, and we want to maybe even get recognized and be drafted into good leagues, like maybe even MOW or MAW, which is fast pitch. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's there are in this league, that in the OC football, to have guys like you be recognized like that is very cool to see. And also another one who should be California. I'm not sure if he's listed as Arizona, but Jackson Blum as well, as another guy in the Redondo Beach area. but it was very cool to see you on there and to see the interaction that you have on you have on Instagram as well with a lot of those top guys. You have like the Mike Styles, the Grant Millers, the RJ Walgates commenting on your stuff and saying how disgusting you are is pretty cool to
Yeah.
see from an outside perspective. I'm not sure how it feels to you, but I'm sort of a little jealous, but.
Yeah.
But
Thank you, man.
that's cool. That's cool to see. You know that we do have this big tournament coming up at the end of the year for another winter classic. How are you looking? How much are you looking forward to that? With that different style of play, and then playing with a different team than you did the previous year.
I'm ready, man. I've been practicing. I've been practicing a lot. I showed you before, but I have the cut ball, and I've been cutting wiffle balls. I've been throwing them. Uh, it's good times, and I'm just getting ready for that tournament and trying to show out at least and have some fun. So that
Yeah,
would be cool. And playing with you too, playing with you, OC Wiffleball. Not sure who else is going to be there. Maybe like Jordan or like Justin too.
Yeah,
But
right now for the people who don't know, I am going to be, but in this tournament I'm going to be having an OC football team. Right now I've got James, I've got myself, I've got Jordan, I've got Justin. I'm looking to possibly add one more. Um, Either from OC football and possibly outside of OC football, just to help out with some certain things. But I think we got a real good shot, especially with the two of us pitching two of the better pitchers in the California area. So I've heard there's going to be some real good outside competition coming in, but we'll see we'll see what happens with this. It should be a fun time having you on the team. And good fun to play that different style of ball as well. That fast pitch with the base running is going to be very interesting. Has not been it's not even been done too much like in general, but I know I've heard they've had some stuff in the past on the East Coast. But
yeah,
I'm very much looking forward to this. December 30th and December 31st, we'll be playing together. So I'm looking forward to it. Absolutely,
yeah,
I'm glad to have you on the team as well. I'm glad to have you with us. I really needed that that big, whether it be a second pitcher to me or a first pitcher, which right now you're a ace for the team. So
yeah.
I'm very much looking forward to that tournament and looking to see what we can do because. OC Wiffle, we did pretty good in the last Winter Classic. We were the number 2 overall seed after the first games. We went 3-0, didn't allow a run in the in the pool play, and then all of a sudden we have to face Dustin and EJ and Jackson Blum. It was kind of like okay,
Yeah,
it's a little
yeah, they're
difficult.
crazy.
We had a great game against them. We believe it was 9-7 in 5 innings, but I was looking to try to improve on that. So we'll
It's
see.
hard to beat Dustin, man. You
Yeah.
just got that winning like thing. I can't beat him. It's unfortunate, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I
I
feel
gotta
you
bring it
there.
up.
I finally got a win off of him in the regular season. I
Yeah,
finally actually got I had one good hit in the tournament, but then I also had that walk off home run, which Justin and I we watched and discussed over a few podcasts ago. I can't remember what episode it was, but uh, very cool, and very much looking forward to playing with you as well. So, you, I mean, obviously, you said you just turned 16 in September. You're a sophomore in high school. You're a baseball player as well, and you've talked about wanting to go to these tournaments and stuff. What's kind of your future goals, or kind of like your almost like your end goals for the sport of football in general, with you being so young and so extremely good at the same time.
that's a good question. I'm not entirely sure because I mean, there's only so much here that I can do. Maybe um, I could travel. I could go to other places, but honestly, in wiffle ball, I just want to have fun. I want to you know, I it would be really cool to be like maybe nationally ranked too. I don't know if you saw that like Wix drop or whatever. I don't even.
Yeah, the drop. Yep. The drop
That would
100.
be really cool. But also, I've got baseball. I'm a musician. I have a lot of things that I do. So I don't know. I My future for wiffle ball isn't like up in the air or anything, but it's definitely it's not the only thing I do. It's there are a lot of things that I do, and yeah, I think that there isn't a clear, definite future for me in wiffle ball. I'm just having fun right now.
Yeah,
And
and that's a good thing as well. In a way, you know, you still have you still have a life to live. You still have other interests, and I mean, and you're so young, you can still figure stuff out with all of that. So where the old farts like me, we have to kind of get stuff set now. So, but then once you start doing the travel and stuff, I think you're gonna really enjoy it. Me and we had the podcast a little while ago with me, Dustin, and Justin talking about like the experience in York, Pennsylvania, and I think you going out there, you're gonna enjoy it a lot. I mean, pretty much anyone you want to meet is out there. So I think you're gonna really enjoy it once you start doing this stuff. You know, you keep working, you keep saving money, and you're able to afford these trips and things like that. So I do think there's an extremely bright future ahead for you. So I wish you the best of luck with all of that, whether it be playing with my team, playing with On the Rise, or whichever team it is. I wish you the best of luck.
thank you.
Uh, uh, you know that's about all I have for you today. Obviously, Justin would be here asking some questions as well. However, he is still gone in Thailand. He may be
Yeah,
he may be back by the time this goes out, but he's flying back in today, and I don't want to have to make him do the podcast. So, James, we appreciate you coming on to the That Scuffed Up podcast for episode 33. If you got anything else to add or plug, go ahead and go for it right now.
yeah. You can go on to my Instagram at James Lee Stuff. I I have a YouTube account. I might post on it. I'm on TikTok, also at James Lee Stuff, but that I'm trying to because I haven't posted on TikTok for a very long time. I'm trying to catch up all my posts for that one, so that will take upwards of a month. I don't like that. I don't like saying that, but that yeah, I have a TikTok and yeah, I'll plug SoCal Wiffleball, OC Wiffleball, obviously their Instagram stuff. Yeah, that's all I have. So,
Awesome. Yeah, keep watching out for the OC Wolves of LA and James Lee. This has been Stephen Hayden here for episode 33 of the podcast. Justin will be back for next week, and we will see you back for episode 34. Take care.
see you.